Recently, there's been unusually hot weather in the middle and eastern United States affecting nearly 160 million people. The phenomenon is called a heat dome, where high pressure traps hot air over a large area, kind of like placing a lid on a pot. The hot air can't escape, so it sinks, causing the temperature on the ground to become dangerously high, even reaching triple digits Fahrenheit. Although I did receive an A in my college meteorology class, this is not a weather podcast. However, it is an important topic because extreme temperatures have a significant impact on our power bills and finances. This podcast will review how to save money and cut your bills when the heat soars. Welcome back, everyone. It's episode 940 of Money Girl. I really appreciate you spending time with me. I'm Laura Adams, an award-winning author, on-camera spokesperson, money speaker, and founder of The Money Stack. That's my Substack newsletter. I've been providing personal finance and advice on this podcast weekly since 2008 with over 44 million downloads, and I'm glad to have you with me. You can learn more, ask questions, and sign up for The Money Stack at lauradadams.com. Newsletter subscribers automatically receive my Money Success Toolkit with the exact templates I use to manage money. So I hope you'll sign up and download that. All right, so let's talk about some ways to cut your power bill this summer. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, you know them as NOAA, they predict that the United States will experience hotter than average temperatures this summer, with the Northeast and the West expected to bear the brunt of it. According to data from the National Energy Assistance Directors Association, that heat will cause power bills to hit a 12-year high. So if you haven't already seen your power bills going up, they're likely to do so, at least in the latter part of the summer. Therefore, every tip and trick you can use to cut your electricity bills now and really through the end of the year while staying comfortable is going to help you stretch your budget this summer. So let's go through some tips to reduce your home's power consumption. Number 1, regularly adjust your thermostat. Where I live in Florida, we run our air conditioning or AC non-stop, except for a couple months, like maybe January and February. And it's not uncommon for me to go an entire year without turning on the heat. So how much you can change your thermostat certainly depends on where you live. But if you're like me and you live in a warm state, I want to encourage you to push the thermostat as high as you can take it during the day. Maybe even up to 78, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, to sleep better at night, my husband and I definitely like it much cooler than that, but we tangle over the ideal temperature. He would prefer 72, I would prefer 74, so we usually settle somewhere in the middle on 73, or I sneak out and kick it up to 74. We have a cooling mattress on our bed that also really helps us sleep well and reduce the AC temperature. So I highly recommend that if you haven't tried a cooling mattress or a cooling mattress cover. Some nights I can even sneak that thermostat up to 75 without my husband even noticing. All right, number 2, use a programmable thermostat. If you have a programmable thermostat, you can use it to ensure you run higher temperatures when you're typically away from home, or even just during the day. If you set your thermostat to 70 and you just, forget it and let it run that temperature day and night, you are padding your power bill when you could be cutting some costs instead by just doing, a little bit of programming. Remember that heating and cooling a home account for about half of its energy use. However, utility companies say that for every degree you increase your home's temperature above 70, you save 3% on your power bill. So that can really add up if you're able, to kick it up into the high 70s, even if it's just for part of the day. Number 3, use ceiling or floor fans. While fans don't actually reduce the temperature in your home, their air movement causes something called the wind chill effect. So, this happens when cooler or drier air comes in contact with your skin, and that increases the rate at which you lose heat to the environment, and that cools you off. My research found that using a ceiling fan can make a room feel about 4 degrees cooler than the actual air temperature. So you can see how that would allow you to increase your thermostat and still feel comfortable while cutting your energy usage. I use both a ceiling fan and a Dyson floor fan in my bedroom for extra air circulation, and it also gives some nice white noise that really helps me drift off to sleep faster. And I also hope that by relying a little less on my air conditioner that I'll reduce the wear and tear. Just remember that fans cool people, not the air, not the room. So don't get into the habit of leaving a ceiling fan or a floor fan on full blast when you're not in the room. Running fans in an empty space is also a waste of energy and money. So, when I get up in the morning, I remember to turn off the ceiling fan and the floor fan, and then we turn them on again at night. Number 4, maintain your indoor air conditioner. I baby my Florida air conditioning system because we use it so much. The easiest maintenance you can do is pretty simple. It's just to regularly replace or clean your air filter, depending on the type of filter you have, at least every 1 to 3 months. However, if you have pets or allergies, or you live in a dusty environment, or maybe you're using your air conditioning system more frequently this summer because of the heat, you may need to replace your filters or clean them more often. Remember that a clogged filter is going to restrict the airflow, and that will cause your air conditioning system to work harder and potentially lead to higher power bills. Number 5, keep your air vents clear and open. Additionally, keep your air return vents open and clear of obstructions like curtains, rugs, or furniture, which could actually block the airflow and cause your system to work harder. Any reduced efficiency can really add up to higher power bills and system breakdowns over time. Number 6, maintain your outdoor system. The part of an air conditioning system located outside your home is known as the condenser, and that should be kept free from any debris. Ideally, you should have at least 2 feet of space around the unit in all directions for proper airflow. So you want to trim any tall grass, bushes, shrubs, or tree limbs that get too close to the unit. A common problem in warm climates is having a clogged air conditioning drain line. So this removes condensation from your home, but it can actually create a buildup of algae that causes water to back up into your home or, even the whole system just to shut down. Yes, this has happened to me. And let me tell you, it is no fun to wake up in the middle of the night and realize that your air conditioning stopped working when it's like 90 degrees outside. Experts advise me to periodically pour a cup of distilled vinegar or even a solution of 50-50 bleach and water down the drain line to prevent algae growth. Number 7, schedule regular air conditioning maintenance. Even with diligent do-it-yourself maintenance on your AC, I recommend having a licensed technician inspect and tune up your system annually. We do this, and the spring is a good time to schedule it before the cooling season begins. AC pros can check your refrigerant levels and refill them if needed. They can inspect electrical components, test safety mechanisms, clear those drain lines, and identify any potential issues before they become a problem or become costly repairs. That preventative work can improve the efficiency and the lifespan of your air conditioning system, and that'll help you stay comfortable and pay lower energy bills. Number 8, check the temperatures of your refrigerator and freezer. Running your fridge and freezer at lower temperatures may sound like a good idea in the summer, when things get hot. but it can actually be bad. It can increase your energy use and bills and even cause excessive wear and tear on those appliances. So check your maintenance or go online to find out what is the optimal temperatures, and then just double check that they're set not too low and not too high. And number 9, manage peak demand. Check with your power company to determine when their demand and rates typically spike. In some cases, you can be charged 3 to 4 times the typical kilowatt price during those peak hours. For instance, let's say Friday evenings have high power demand and prices in your area. You could wait and do laundry, run the dishwasher, or charge an electric vehicle on Saturday mornings instead. So the idea is that you understand when the peak times are, and you're a little, just be a little conscious about trying not to use a lot of power during those peak periods. Depending on your power company and the appliances you have, you may be eligible for a savings program that allows the company to reduce your energy consumption during those peak demand periods. So visit your power company's website for more information. They're really trying to help us cut our power usage. Many companies will offer free energy audits where they inspect your home's energy use, provide tips for reducing it, and they'll review any available money-saving programs that you may be eligible for. All right, I hope at least one of these tips will help you cut your power a little bit this summer and stay cool out there. That's all for now. I'll talk to you soon. Until then, here's to living a richer life. Money Girl is a quick and dirty tips podcast, and we've got a great team that I want to thank. Steve Rickyberg audio engineers the show. Holly Hutchins is our director of podcast. Morgan Christensen is our advertising operations specialist, and Nathaniel Hoops is our marketing contractor.